So, you know what I've come to realize? When source is pumping light, when source is pushing through, not really pushing, but when you're summoning more of who you are, more of what you are, the truth, that desire to know thyself, to expand your consciousness into realizing more of what you are through different angles, right? And you're summoning, you're thirsty, you're calling in. Source will push in, right? More of you will come through. So what I realized with that push and pull, I didn't know that this was actually the mechanics of it. So I would summon, I would ask, and of course source would respond, right? And more light would come through. But that energy, when it hit my blocks, when it was hitting my limiting perspectives, my fear, lack based, separation based beliefs, I didn't know that that was the cause of my contraction. I knew the blissful state, but then suddenly, when it was like integrating into my body, when it was landing into my body, I would feel the pain. I would feel that, like when a jacket doesn't fit anymore, right? And you're still trying to hold on to it and want to make it fit. It just doesn't. So I thought I was somehow getting it wrong or doing it wrong. And I would fear it. I would fear those phases of expansion. I would know they were coming because I would study my patterns of growth, my highs and my lows, how I was going through things in my daily life that bring out stuff that I needed to work through. So knowing my patterns, knowing how my body responded, I would fear this phases of of expansion and growth, because when it wasn't touching any negative ideas, any limiting beliefs, when it wasn't touching any programs, it just would feel like joy and ecstasy and bliss, right? And I would just be in that flow of, oh yes, I want more, baby, like bring it on. And that's delicious. That's just beaming more light, holding that frequency. But when it was being filtered through this negative based beliefs that I didn't know I had, right? I would just know because they were hitting me and my body was responding. So I would fear. I would fear having to face that. But now I'm like, because now I know the mechanism, I'm excited that they touch, because I know I just need to shift the perspective. I just need to allow the pain of the contraction, like not run away from it, not distract myself from it, but move with it. So what I would do is I would just sit and allow, okay, what is it trying to tell me? I know there's a source pumping light, 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 light. Expansion, 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 growth, 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 more awareness, more awareness. So if there's only one stream of well-being, as Abraham Hicks often repeats, why am I experiencing it? Why am I experiencing it as this painful contraction? So I'm not working with the mind at this level. I'm just using my body to allow what's unconscious, right? This is not that I'm thinking that I have a negative based belief, right? I'm not thinking about it. It's my body reacting to unconscious, subconscious assumptions and ideas and perspectives and trauma, stories. So when I allow that and I dive deep into the pain, into that energetic pain, because it's not even emotional anymore. It's just this, my body letting me know we are expanding, we're extending the energy of what we are, or we are contracting ourselves, right? So imagine my aura expanding or holding back. So allowing myself to just sit with it and know that the solution is just to find the idea and correct the perspective and soothe myself back into alignment, as Abraham says. Oh my God, I feel like it's so much fun to grow and to expand than the way I was doing it, because unconsciously I thought I was doing something wrong and I couldn't find out, but now I know. Even though I knew it, like conceptually, in theory, we all know this, but when it comes to the practical applications in real time, while they're happening, it's like your memory just wipes out. It's like you don't even remember any of the teachings. So using my body as the barometer of what subconscious beliefs I'm holding onto, the moment that I'm just summoning more of that flow of God source energy, and the light is just pouring through. So if I'm not feeling that bliss and that ecstasy, I know it's just hitting one of those blocks, and I just have to allow myself to not fear it first, right? I don't fear it. I don't run away from it. I face it, and I know that the moment I find the right perspective, boom, it's gone, and the energy just flows, right? It's like electricity. Electricity just wants to flow. The river just wants to flow. So just get the resistance out of it. Get what's not supposed to be there, so it flows. This is huge for me because, again, in theory, I knew it, but not really, right? Kevin Trudeau says, to know and not to do is not to know. So I really didn't know it, even though I thought I knew it. So this is what I want to really be sharing from real time, real life experiences, and not just because I read it, because to some degree, I intellectually entertain it, as Bob Proctor would say. Oh, this is so fun. So yeah, when source is pumping light into your physical vessel or the appearance of your body and it doesn't feel like bliss, then it's just hitting some unconscious blocks that you just need to work through. Allow it to tell you what is it, that perspective that you're holding that's not in alignment with the truth of your being. And then it just immediately shifts. You're like, you don't really need that much time. I've needed a lot of time to process because, I was fine-tuning into the real mechanism of how the energy world works, right? How thoughts become things in real time, and how everything is your creation, even if it appears as if something or someone else is doing something to you. It's still your energy. You're allowing or disallowing. So taking 100% full responsibility for what you're doing, it just makes so much difference, because you can change anything, like anything. You can really live your life, and not just in appearance of how you think others should look at what success is for you, but the state of peace and joy that you're actually at. And because of this joy that I'm in, almost, I don't want to say 100% of the time, because it's not true. I go through dark periods, but it's less. Like it has become less over time. Like Kevin Trudeau says, when the black ball of negative energy is smaller and the white ball of positive energy is bigger, right? That's the tipping point. But if your black ball of negative energy is bigger than the white one, then, acknowledge where you're at. I was there for many years, and that's fine too, because you can have fun with wherever you're at in your journey, because you wanted this journey to be the way it is. So when you zoom out, right, from that perspective of the true awareness that you are, and you see the little story you've created for this little character, you actually realize, oh, I really want to have that story. I really want to have those experiences to realize that I'm not any of those things. I'm actually the light, right? So your story of remembrance is carved through the, the plots, the twists, all the things you think shouldn't be there, or the conflict, the contrast, the people not agreeing with you, the apparent attacks, and the need to defend. Like, all is part of the story of unfolding, of coming from forgetting to remembering. So it's all good. So it's all perfect. And you will actually see that you wanted that story the way it unfolded. That's where I've come to realize the perfection of how my story has unfolded, the beauty, even in the darkest moments.